Hi, my name is Damon Riehl with LoanBidz.com. Today we're going to talk about BRRRR investing and how to have the least amount of your own money in a transaction. So stick with me. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe or like button, and I'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. So now we're going to talk about BRRRR investing and using private loans in order to keep your own money in your pocket and not invested in these transactions. So I have a lot of clients who essentially use the BRRRR method. They will go out in today's market and try to find a property where they do a reasonably substantial amount of rehab. They're going to get the upside in the value. So they'll find it moderately distressed property. They will rehab it. They will get it ready to rent. And at that point, they're ready to refinance it into a long-term loan. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of the secrets of what my clients do, again, to keep their own money in their pocket and use the least amount in a transaction. So first of all, let's talk about the rehab portion of the transaction. So in today's marketplace, even if you have just a little bit of experience, you can get about 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab dollars, as long as the ARV is 75% or less. And let's talk about that for a second. Why do lenders pick 75% on the ARV? And the answer is simple. The answer is they want to make sure that if you have to, and when you're ready to exit that property, you have multiple ways that you can get out of it. You can either sell it or you can refinance it. Well, let's think about it. If you're going to refinance it, right now the majority of lenders are lending at about 75% LTV. Ding, ding, ding. It's a situation where those have to align in order for you to be able to consider a refinance for that permanent loan. So again, that is the reason that 75 ARV exists. So let's talk about an example. I have a lot of clients, and I'm going to try to use some round numbers here, but I've got clients that may want to buy a property for $70,000, put $30,000 of rehab in it, and make that property worth about $150,000. Okay, that kind of fits with that 75 LTV or less. So let's look at the numbers here and how you can keep your money in your pocket. Well, if we can get you 90% of the purchase price, that purchase price, remember, was $70,000. 90% of that is $63,000. Okay, so about $7,000 difference between what that purchase price is and the loan amount toward the purchase. Then they will lend 100% of that rehab dollars. So we said that in this example, that was $30,000. So your total cost is $100,000 for this particular transaction. The loan that the lender is going to make on this is going to be, remember, 90%, 63 plus all of that 30,000. So 93,000 is the loan amount against 100,000 in cost. So your down payment is going to essentially be 7,000 in this example, plus closing costs. So typically, even in the smallest of transactions, the lenders are going to charge $4,000 to $5,000 in costs. They have certain expenses they have to cover. So just bake into your models about $5,000, even on the smallest of transactions, a little bit higher as your loan amounts go up. So now think about it. Let's say $5,000 plus your $7,000 down payment. So now you're at about $12,000 invested in this particular transaction to get the first part of the BRRRR done. Okay, so now you've got that loan in place. You've got your $12,000 sitting, in this particular property. You now have the money sitting in the escrow account at the lender to finish that rehab to make that property worth $150,000. So now let's say that $30,000 in rehab is going to take you 3 months to get done. Some people can do it faster, some it'll take a little bit longer, depending on the type of work and the availability of contractors. So let's say you're 3 months down the line, you now have completed that particular work, you're ready to find that person who's going to rent that particular property. Let's say on this $150,000, you found somebody that'll take it for $1,200 a month. Okay, so now you get them in place. So most of the lenders, if you're going to get max LTV on your refinance, you got to have that renter in place. So that renter in place, and not only do you need the lease, but you'll need to be able to prove that you've collected the first month rent and security deposit. So that's what the lender will be asking, if you don't have a rental history. Obviously you wouldn't, because you just bought the property. So in this particular case, now you've got an asset worth $150,000, you've got a renter in place paying $1,200 a month, you're in good shape, you're now ready to do your refinance. Okay, the secret sauce on the refinance: credit score and the LTV you want. Most of my clients want all of the money, or the most money they can get back out of that property, so they can go do the next one. So most people are going to be at 75 on a cash out. If you've got a super high credit score, you can sometimes get 80. The rate will be a little bit higher, but some people just don't care. When I mean a little bit higher, maybe 0.25%. Difference between maybe something in the 4s versus something in the low 5s. So if money's more important to you and that capital is more important to you, you might take a little bit higher rate to get that. All right, so let's get back to our example now. You got that $150,000 property. You're now going to take a 75% loan on that. So the 75% would be approximately $112,000 in loan amounts. And in that particular case, just think about it. Remember, your cost basis was $100,000 in that particular property, the $70,000 purchase and the $30,000 rehab. Now you've just created an asset worth $150,000, and you've got a loan now of $112,000. I believe it's $112,600 on that particular property. So now you've covered all of your cost of acquisition. You now are going to have closing costs again on that permanent loan, but you've now covered enough money by this new loan amount to cover those costs as well. So it's a beautiful thing. So now you essentially, when that refinance is completed, have all of your capital back, and maybe even plus a little bit more. And now you're ready to do the next deal. So again, that BRRRR strategy is beautiful, and using private loans to be able to really recycle your capital, use it again and again and again to build that rental pool without chewing up your investment capital. That is one of the things that I talk to a lot of clients about. They'll come in and they will want to buy rent-ready properties, but yet they want to buy a lot of them. And I say, okay, if you buy rent-ready properties, that capital is going to get stuck in that property until it either appreciates or you pay it down a little bit. So just think about it. You go out and buy a $150,000 rent-ready property that has that $1,200 renter in place. The best you're going to get in the marketplace now is around 80% LTV on the purchase. So that 20%, that down payment, and again, on a $150,000 loan, 20% is $30,000. That $30,000 is now stuck in that particular property, again, until it appreciates and then you refinance it and get it back, or you pay it down, which takes forever because loans don't amortize very fast. So I counsel a lot of my clients, just think about it. If you have limited capital sources for the down payments, think about a value add type of structure where you can create value by the rehab. And in those particular cases, you can recycle that capital again and again and again and build that size portfolio that you're looking for. So if you need help with the financing side of this, whether it's the rehab loan or the long-term loan or both, we can help you. Give us a call at 636-552-4710 or simply go out to LoanBidz.com, set up a username and password, put in your loan request, and you can activate it online and have lenders compete for your deal, or you can work with an account executive and get a custom quote. Again, that's LoanBidz.com, LoanBidz with a Z. See it right up there with a Z, LoanBidz.com. And again, if you'd like to talk to me personally, just ask for me and I'll be happy to try to help you. So until next time, everyone continue to stay safe.